people say, oh, I bet you have cat fights and all this stuff, and arguments, and we never have.
I've never seen any drama. I really haven't.
If the wrong person walks in the door, these women find it out real fast.
They'll tell us within 2 weeks if somebody starts, they're not our kind of people.
Hi, everybody. Valerie McSorely here at South Shore Hive with another episode of What's the Buzz? And today we are incredibly buzzworthy here in the studio. We have a special treat. We've got the owners of Charles David Salon here on site with me. We've got Buddy and David. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. So glad to be here.
Oh, my gosh. You have made women beautiful on the South Shore for over 30 years. And I know you have that very important milestone that you've just celebrated. So congratulations.
Thank you, Valerie.
I saw a beautiful video, and I see such great social media of you and your team. And I'll share, I'm a client of yours for, I think, 18 years now.
All of that, sure.
So I remember going to see you when you first, I think I went to your spot in Norwell.
Correct.
Just as you were building that beautiful building that I'm sure our viewers are familiar with on the side of Route 3 that you can see, Charles David Salon, just by Boston Interiors, right there in Hanover.
That's correct.
Gorgeous building. So tell me how you got there.
Well, we started our journey 30 years ago in Norwell on Grove Street at the corner of 53 and Grove. We started with 6 chairs, 5 employees, and we now have
98
employees and 3 salons, and the flagship in Hanover that you just spoke of has 40 chairs in that salon and a magnificent spa that David just redid himself, which is absolutely gorgeous. A little bit about my background. I worked for somebody for 13 years before I met David as their color director in Braintree, Bruce Fisher. Hair color group at the time. They're now called the Fisher Experience. Wonderful salon and great people. And then met David, and we decided to go out on our own. And we opened Charles David Salons and Spas 30 years ago in Norwell. It's been an incredible ride. My background, like I said, I was a professional dancer as a kid when I started and then got into the hair and beauty industry. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful career for us and our staff and us as a couple together for almost 39 years now.
Wow.
The two of us, yes. It's been a long ride.
Together.
You don't hear 39 years too often. That's
no,
and
you don't hear it work and live together often either.
No.
That's a whole other craft in itself. But we so enjoy our business, our community. We've been extremely blessed, and we're extremely grateful for the wonderful people we've been able to surround ourselves with.
That's amazing. So you mentioned your flagship location. Where are the other 2 properties?
The 2 others are on Long Pond Road in Plymouth, and the other one is at the Village Green at the Pine Hills.
I love it there.
Yeah,
Great
so those
spot.
2 salons, they're beautiful salons. The Long Pond Road is a 12-chair salon. It's a little bit funky. It's very streamlined. Very up to date. We just redid all 3 salons, so all 3 of them are pretty much all brand new once again.
Oh, wow.
David did most of the design on all of those, and he's extremely talented with interior space and stuff like that. And like I said, we started at the beginning in 1995. We stayed in that space for 13 years. We went from 6 chairs to 28 till we finally outgrew that space.
Wow.
And then moved to Hanover. I've done a lot of things with teaching behind the chair and teaching nationally. I was a national educator for Redken. I've been a national educator for Joico and Beth Bernardi Signature. That was fun the last 7 years before COVID. And really enjoy my craft. I just love every part of it. I love the people skills. I love creating. I love seeing people's attitudes change with hair color and design. It's a fascinating business.
Well, it's so obvious in everything you do. So, I mean, the salon, it's an experience when you go there. Everything is just beautifully done. It's impeccably the design is great. But I'll say the most impressive thing is really your staff. And you know what I really value about that, and it's a testament to who you are, you have the same staff that's so unusual to see in your industry. Like there's people that I've seen there since day one, and I've been going to you for 18 years.
Sure.
Well, if you take all of our employees and divide it by their tenure, it's 17.5 years is the average.
Is that right? That's unheard of.
We still have our opening team from 30 years ago. So we're very, very blessed. People ask us all the time, what's your secret weapon? And, how did you have this longevity in this business that tends to change employees like shirts? And, I guess it is the culture that we have provided, but we have the most amazing women. We only have 2 guys in our company other than Buddy and I.
Dylan and David.
Dylan and David. And
Another David.
And they're wonderful young men, but our lives revolve around women. Women, we both grew up with single moms, and our lives just revolve around women. So when people ask me that question, it's like it's hard to answer because we have these women that work for us, and they have a bond with each other that I really wish somebody would come in and do a survey or a study on. I've never seen anything like it. And my background is the hotel industry. And so when I got into this, these girls, people say, oh, I bet you have cat fights and all this stuff, and arguments and things. And we never have.
I've never seen any drama. I really haven't.
If the wrong person walks in the door, these women find it out real fast.
They'll tell us within 2 weeks if somebody starts, they're not our kind of people. We're like, okay, because we listen to them. Mm-hmm. But they have this most unique sister yaya kind of thing going for each other where they watch each other's kids if they're sick. They start food trains for people that have had surgery. They're just the most unique group of women I have ever had the privilege and the honor and the blessing to know. They're just amazing. And that's our secret weapon.
And I think a lot of that secret is we are the ones that feel privileged to be surrounded by them. And that's the gift. That's the gift.
Well, I think that's, you rise to the level of your expectations. So you both are very strong leaders. You lead by example. You set the ground rules about what's tolerated, what's not. And that's how you can assess if someone comes in and they're not the right fit, it right away.
Absolutely.
Right. But I have never, and I've said this to some of the girls because I've gotten really friendly with the stylists I've had over the years.
Sure.
I'm like, there just doesn't seem to be any drama here. And they're like, there's really not. And it's amazing. I really give you so much credit. There's TV shows dedicated to the drama behind the scenes at salons.
Right.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
I used to watch
Tabitha's
that show
Takeover
Blowout
and Tabitha's Salon Takeover.
Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
That was a good show.
Every time I watched that show, I would go, oh, thank you, God, for giving us Charles David and our girls, because some of the drama, I just couldn't deal with that.
No.
Well, and one of the things, too, as a female traveling to different salons all of your lives, cleanliness is a big part of that.
Oh, yes.
And that was one thing that David brought to our beauty industry was the hospitality industry, which was a perfect mesh because you've now got the friendliness, the hospitality, the cleanliness, all of those things that go into a beautiful space. Mm-hmm. And a hotelier, he was able to bring to our beauty industry, which you've done enough of those classes on your own.
Well, people, coming, and people would say to me when we first opened Charles David, they knew Buddy was an extremely accomplished colorist. But they were like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I'll just sit here at the front desk and twiddle my thumbs. But I like to think that my background, we brought some of the hospitality to the beauty industry. And I really think hospitality is so important to create the experience for our guests that we want to create. And, we've had probably 50,000 comment cards turned in over the years.
Wow.
And the number one compliment is your work, which that's what you want to be number one at. Number two is friendliness. And number three is cleanliness.
Yes.
And so all those things put together has really been a success for Charles David.
Well, you're extremely proud of all that you do, and you should be. And I love, the story and your journey. It's really it's significant because all of those things in your previous experiences you bring to the table every single day.
Sure.
And, I see you in action. You are a master colorist, and people just love you. Like, that's the other thing that comes through. But you're also so philanthropic in the community. And that's where I actually got to know you all those years ago, because you do give back and you're so supportive. And it's amazing how charitable and that focus that you bring, and your team really supports all that you do too. And that's a lot of work to support.
It is.
As you know.
It's a lot of work.
Well, we're both very spiritual. And recently I ask in my prayers, why do you bless us so much? And in my dream that night, I placed a book on my lap. And it says, turn the pages. And I turn the pages, and it's Hydrae for Heroes. It's Crossroads for Kids. It's, the South Shore Hospital. It's the animal shelters. It's
Kelly for Ellie.
It's all the things. And this book was so thick. And I got to the end of it. It says, now do you know?
Oh, wow. Wow, I have the chills. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to know each other, through some of that work. And
Right.
I don't think you have ever turned things down that's the right fit. And
No, because I mean, we just feel like, we've been so blessed, especially early in our career when we first started our business. When we first opened, we were open like 6 months, and I had a center page spread in Vogue, which was huge. That really blew the doors off when we first opened. I was already a very busy hair colorist and working 13 years from somewhere else. So when that spread happened, that David actually put together with a local model, Melanie Cheskin from Hanover.
Wow.
Who worked for Next Model Agency at the time.
She's gorgeous.
And she's a beautiful, beautiful young woman. And she's still working today in her 40s. She's, usually models are done in their late 20s, but Melanie's got such a face, they constantly use her for things. But it was that spread that kind of kicked us off. And becoming that busy that soon gave us the want and the need to have to give back. Mm. You have to give back, and we've been so blessed in our own lives. And our biggest thrill is watching pretty much David grow these young women, because he does all the coaching. He does all the business building. He's the behind the scenes that nobody sees the face of, but he's doing all the back work for the salon to grow.
Right.
So growing these women and watching them buy their first car, watching them buy their first home is really where we get our happiness from.
Right.
Well,
and you have to have that infrastructure in place. That back of house it's hard to see. When people don't see, they don't know what they don't see, right? And you are the Wizard of Oz behind the scene, making it all happen, right?
Basically.
Well,
Behind the
like my
curtain.
mother said, I told my friend Jane Kern, who I think so much of, and she interviewed us for South Shore Living, our home life magazine. And I told her that my mother, when I said that we were going to go and I was going to leave the hospitality industry and go into the beauty industry, and my mother, she started crying and she said, "But son, you can't even comb your hair." And so I said, "Well, I think I can bring a lot to the table, Mom." Mm. And so I think that what makes us different from other salons is that we have a very precise career path for people to go on. And I tell these kids that I speak to all the time in the various schools that no matter whether you come to Charles David to work or you go somewhere else, be sure and ask, where do you see me in 2 years? And, and what kind of education do you have? Because so many salons or people in the industry go into areas or maybe rent a chair or a booth where there's not the stimulus for education. Mm. And we truly believe that education and hospitality have been the hallmark of Charles David.
I mean, an educated person holds their head a whole lot higher.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you are so big on the education piece. I
Yes.
see you all over the place teaching. And, I think that mentorship that you're giving these kids is huge, and people need to know that you care, and they need to see. And I think especially with your younger employees, like when you see something special in them, that ability and to work with a boss that sees where you can go and will help support you to get you there is so rare.
Absolutely.
Well, it's different. I do all of our service providers one-on-ones every 90 days. So I have
Is
a
that right?
30-minute one-on-one with him every 90 days.
Oh, wow.
And so, there's numbers, and I'm the numbers guy where he's the creative. I can't teach you to color and cut, but I can teach you how to make a better living and live a better life. And that's what I love it. I just thrive on it. It's my warm fuzzy. They get that instant gratification when they turn Valerie around the chair and she goes, "Oh my God, I love."
The only number I care about is the level of natural hair color you have and the number I'm going to use on it.
And he hasn't written a check in 39 years, but
It just better be there when I write one.
yeah. But it's I love teaching these young kids how to take control of knowing their numbers. So many salon professionals don't have a clue. You say, "How was your day today? How much did you bring in today?" Don't have a clue in the world.
I don't know, but it was fun.
Yeah, my guests seemed happy and everything was fine. Well, you need to put the business part of it in it. So he and I have always made exactly the same money throughout our 30 years together, because I think he is no more important than I am, and the business part is just as important as the creative end of it.
Charles David would not be what Charles David is today without one or the other.
Yeah.
It took two to bring it to the
did.
level it's at today.
Total
and we're
partners.
fortunate that we are, he does one thing and I don't do what he does, and he doesn't do what I do. So that makes it be able to work at work and at home.
Well, that's completely that's the definition. You're true partners in every sense of the word and complement one another so beautifully.
Thank
and
you.
Everything you do is really wrapped in beauty. But I'm really impressed with that every 90 days because think about how many people it's like annually they meet with their boss.
Sure.
And what happens in the course of a year? So many different things. Like this is giving you that ability to really keep a pulse on them, really show you care about them in so many different ways and taking care of them, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all the things that really, really matter to making a person really well-rounded. And it shows.
And our industry changes about every quarter. Every quarter you see a different style, a different feeling, a different motion in the world. And that's what David's bringing to their lives as well. When you're meeting with these people every 90 days or every quarter, you're keeping everybody up to date. You're keeping them in the moment. You're keeping things moving on a daily basis.
And 90 days is about right because
Correct.
You really shouldn't have too many plans beyond 3 months because it just doesn't really happen.
That's right.
It's a small enough window to keep you accountable and really keep you on point. But what are some of the trends that are coming out right now?
Well, extensions are huge. Wefts are huge. Adding hair is huge. You're seeing a lot more monochromatic hair color coming back for this coming spring. Balayage is going to be around for a long, long time, which is a French word that means to paint or sweep color. And it's a beautiful technique. It's all very freehand. Some people do it in foil. Some people do it on board. Some people do it just as an artist sketching on a head of hair. And it's a beautiful, beautiful service. You just can't say to somebody, I'm going to make you platinum blonde and a balayage because it's not going to happen. But the trends right now are giving women a little bit more longer time out of the salon so they're not so married to the salon anymore. People have started to be able to extend their appointments, and by changing the way we see hair color, women are now able to do that. That person that was in every 4 to 7 weeks for a highlight can now go 9 to 12 weeks for a highlight, or some you can even push 3 and 4 times a year, depending on how light they are from what their natural is. So it's a really nice way that things are changing in hair color, and it also makes it another avenue to change things up easier when they have more natural to work with, which is what we're seeing now. And women have now started embracing their non-pigmented hair, which is the gray. Gray is a beautiful hair color on the right person. To be silver is to surrender. To be gray is a choice. So, there are lots of women where they'll just start to go gray, and I will start to add lighter pieces of silver to bring them more into it so that they're not feeling like they have to have that constant regrowth around their face all the time. Touched up, touched up, touched up, touched up. So you just start adding little pieces of silver or adding some depth to somebody who's all white just to bring them back maybe what they were 10 years ago. And this is a service that you can still do 2 or 3 times a year and still gives them the ability to feel fresh and new again.
Very interesting. Yeah, I see a lot of that. And I'm kind of struck with how a lot of younger women are going in this silvery trend. I find that puzzling. You're going to get there.
Absolutely. And I think, let's face it. Mother Nature takes its toll usually sooner than we care to admit. So let's us have our time and let Mother Nature have her time. But I'm all for keeping you away from Mother Nature as long as we can. But when it's time to let go, it's right. Here are the keys to silver hair. When it looks great on somebody, it's either pink skin, blue eyes, olive skin, brown eyes. The eyebrows have to be perfect. The teeth have to be white. Then it works seamlessly. But when you're fighting yellow skin, yellow teeth, white hair, it doesn't work with a camera or a lens. It sees the imperfection. And as you know, the camera sees everything, just like the naked eye does.
Well, yeah. So do you do colorist, consultations on color all the time?
Every new guest, we always schedule a 15-minute consultation time, whether it's a haircut, whether it's a facial, whether it's a hair color change. They always have a 15-minute consultation booked in, or if they'd like to come before that appointment separately, we also welcome that too.
So refresh the whole bit.
Absolutely. We can have a client for 25 years.
I'm thinking I need to do this.
Who
That's
may
why
decide
I'm asking.
that I want a huge color change. Great. Nothing rings better into our ears. Let's sit down and have a conversation about it.
And we say if a guest even gives you a hint that they want to change, then you better deliver because they're going to land somewhere else if you don't. So suggest change, always be open-minded, always know what's fashion forward, and suggest these changes to them gradually. And but, you need to make sure that you're not just doing the same old thing.
Yeah, yeah. So what's coming up with cuts? What's on the horizon?
Pixies are huge right now.
Yeah, I've
Pixies
seen
are
that.
huge.
That's
We actually have a
specialty person.
We have a big class coming into Charles David on October 27th.
I feel like you have the right little petite face.
Well, not always. It all depends. You can have maybe a little longer length in that pixie if you've got a little wider face, or if you're too long in the face, maybe a front fringe might help you combat that. But pretty much most people can wear shorter hair. It's just how it sits on the head and what their head shape is. So, I mean, you really can pretty much rock short hair. It just depends on how you place it on a head.
I found like shorter hair is harder almost to style sometimes, and it seems like counterintuitive. It feels like if it's shorter, it's easier because there's less of it. But not all. A couple times I did go shorter, I'm like, this seems like more work because it's got to be just right.
Agreed.
Okay, good.
No, you're absolutely correct with that, Valerie. So, I mean, a short haircut has really got a great life of about 2 or 3 weeks. Right? I mean, when it's cut short, it has its place, it looks great. 2 or 3 weeks, then it starts to get a little long, starts to get a little heavy. Where with longer hair, you can add a curling iron, you can throw a braid on the side, you can do lots of things to make the long hair last longer than a short haircut will.
Yeah.
So short hair does have a little bit more upkeep to it.
Yeah.
You can stretch a long haircut 7 to 9 weeks, do 9 weeks on a short haircut, you're looking pretty shaggy.
Yeah. So what would you say are your biggest, what you've learned the most? What would you say are kind of your pearls of wisdom for surviving this business and not like thriving in this business for 30 years? You've got such an amazing story to tell.
Well, I think mostly is just creating an experience. I mean, there's so many wonderful salons on the South Shore. We always are supportive of, every salon on the South Shore, and we love to see all of us doing well. But it's creating that experience for people. They want to go somewhere where they're treated friendly. You can go anywhere and be treated rudely today. And
you don't have to go anywhere. You can just get in the car.
Get gas.
Yeah.
It really
just try and make a left.
Against everything that I believe in or we believe in. And I think that that's really the key point, and just having the wonderful employees, listening to your employees, treating them well.
I see you out all the time on social media celebrating milestones with your employees, and that's so important.
Well, that was David's idea, too. I mean, everybody celebrates your birthday. Everybody celebrates your wedding anniversary. Nobody celebrates your work anniversary.
Yeah.
Right? Except the people that you work with. So, I mean, every month we have one, and usually at Albron 53.
Yes.
Where we had a 30th party in the Braintree facility that he just opened, but we go there every month. So everybody that started on that month, we take out to dinner every single month on that year.
Nice.
We go have a nice dinner.
That's where we're having our holiday party.
They do a lovely job. Leo's a great guy.
It's an amazing, and it was so funny because we've become friendly with Leo. And he was very anxious for us to see the new event venue.
I haven't seen it.
Well, it's
only
fantastic.
The video.
So we went up to look at it, and I call him up, and I'm like, Leo, the colors that he picked in there are navy and orange, and it's just stunning. And I just did our spa over and had those same colors, so it's kind of funny.
Wow.
But I tell you what, it is an amazing place. He's an amazing guy.
Not to get off track, but if anybody's looking for an event, it's Leo's in Braintree. He can do 300 stand-up, 150 sit-down, and the event space is gorgeous.
Yes,
is it a restaurant, too?
He will have a 60-seat American bistro on the other side that's not quite open yet, but he's definitely working there. I think he's going to be open by the holiday season.
Awesome.
And it'll be called Leo's.
I love that. I have to check that out. I'm a big fan of theirs.
It's the old Dunkin' Donuts University. So right after you go through Braintree 5 Corner, it's right on the right when you pass Bertucci's.
Oh, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
5 Corners.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure. For sure. There was one other thing I wanted to ask you about, and we can edit this a little bit because my mind just went blank. But
right.
So tell me about the spa services that you offer, because we talked a lot about hair so far.
Well, our spa, COVID really took a hit on the spa industry.
Oh, it was terrible.
And hair is what we do best. We are in the process of reviving our spa. We've just done a total renovation. We added 2 head spa beds, or tables. They prefer to call them tables.
Are those like special Japanese treatment thing? What are they called?
But these are the creme de la creme of relaxation.
Of course
You
they
literally
are.
have a full body human touch massage while you're laying there for the appointment time, while the head's being worked on.
And you have the halo dome and the steam dome. So when you put a Kerastase treatment on the hair and put the steam dome on. And it's the massaging your body, and it's just
aromatherapy, red light therapy.
Oh my God!
It's a great. Oh, you'll have to come and see us. But hair is what we do the most of, and our claim to fame really has been coloring, and that's what we do the most of, probably more than most anyone.
But wait, back to the spa. Yeah. You just purchased this amazing new facial equipment that I will say does a gorgeous Hydra facial, not Hydro.
Oh, I had one of those.
Hydro facial, not the brand Hydra, but it is exquisite. Also, she does the red light therapy, which is amazing for your skin. She has the radio frequency, which is amazing for your skin, tightening the skin, fine lines, wrinkles. Caitlin and Sandy do a very, very nice job.
Microdermabrasion.
Yes.
Which is also
wet
awesome.
and dry, which is great for sensitive skin if you have it. Which, dermabrasion is one of those services you've got to be careful with, because if your skin is very sensitive or thin, it can be a little rough on you. But we have 2 different types of microdermabrasion that can be done on any type of skin.
That is my favorite service of all. It takes away a lot of the roughness that I'm now getting at 68 years old.
Yeah, you want to slough away all that summer dead skin from this year, that's the way to do it. It's really a beautiful service.
I have to get over that. I had a hydrofacial last year at Christmas time as a gift, and it was lovely. Like, my skin was for
the next 2 or 3 months.
It was
It's great.
It was a long time, and it was almost like you got Botox, because it was just hydration that filled in.
Yes.
I hadn't had any work.
Well, hydrofacials are able to penetrate the dermis a little bit, so that's why they're able to get those serums in there, and it gets a little bit deeper than anything else, because you're injecting as far as pulling, so it's going into the pores deeper.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
awesome.
nice.
It was very nice. All right, I'm going to treat myself.
We can help you.
We'll help you with that.
I'm going to treat myself. And I think everybody should treat themselves. So how can people get in touch with you? Your website, schedule an appointment?
We're in the process of redoing our website. It'll hopefully launch in the next 60 days.
Okay.
But you can make appointments from our current one. Current one's a little old because it took a little time to get this new one done.
But you can still book online.
But you still can book online at all of our services, and call any one of our 3 locations. Hanover is the largest salon, whereas the other 2 are much smaller, much more intimate. Some people, Hanover is just too busy for them. And so we like to think that we have, the quieter, more subdued locations in Plymouth and Pine Hills.
It's a beautiful place to be, and it's a beautiful way to wrap this up. You both bring beauty to everything you do, and I want to thank you so much for buzzing by.
Our pleasure.
Making the time. It's so great to have you here finally.
Thank you.
This has been awesome. So much fun.
Thank you. And your space here is amazing. This is a great venue to do these in.
Oh,
so
thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you
in
so
closing,
much.
I would just like to say something, how wonderful South Shore is. I mean, we are so blessed to be in this community. The people here are our true friends. We served 900 people last week alone.
Wow.
And, we're just so blessed, and we're so grateful. And, there's no place like the South Shore.
That's true. That's true. That's
Agreed.
great. 900. What's your typical?
We see no less than $825 a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
After 30
you guys
years,
know everybody
that's such a
too.
great feeling.
That must be like everybody.
Valerie,
they say your hairdresser
really
knows, but
wonderful.
you really know.
You can go into Boston, we run into people. We can go up to Maine, run into people. We've been to Hawaii, run into clients. We've been everywhere, and we run into somebody. It's an amazing business.
It's the power of beauty in women. I mean, it's everywhere we go, somebody says, "Oh, you Charles and David," and what a great feeling.
I mean, we just purchased a house in Naples a couple of years ago, and Naples, Florida is like literally the South Shore of Boston.
I know.
It's Hingham, Cohasset, Marshfield, all of our surrounding towns are pretty much down there. So
we have a lot of friends there now.
I was down there in March.
Winter.
Yeah, and I was running into people.
Well, if you come down there, you look us up, because we've got a great place down there.
I'll take you to dinner.
I would love that. Well, thank you guys so much. This was
Our
great.
pleasure.
Thanks for buzzing by. And you guys are really helping everybody to be their best selves. So
thank you.
That's what we all want to be.
It's a pleasure for us to be there.
I love it. All right, everybody, thanks for buzzing by. If you have a story that's buzzworthy, reach out. We want to feature you on a next episode and tell your story. So this is a great reminder to be your best self. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.